All right, here we go. Thought I'd give you guys an update. Look at that. Magnificent. Believe it or not, that, my friends, is the Mythbuster transceiver. I put a front panel on it. A lot of progress. The front panel is kind of a compromise, kind of a halfway house between al fresco on the pine board and all boxed up. Let me show you. Look here. We'll go overhead here, and I'll show you the progress that we made. The board I found on the curb while doing one of my pandemic walks through the neighborhood. Somebody was throwing it out, and that became the kind of the main structure of the transceiver. I kind of like this Manhattan style PC boards kind of screwed down to the board because it's some structure. Of course, the Yaesu 9 megahertz VFO, the homebrew 10 pole 5.2 megahertz crystal filter. Over here we have the the band pass filters. I'll talk about that in a minute. The other day I went and just built up in one, give it about an hour, the little mic amp circuit, and I have the connector for the mic here, audio gain control, the speaker. I just cut out a circular saw, and put the speaker right there. Nice bigger knob for the VFO. And I have a band switch over here, 7520. I have space on the panel to put more switches and stuff as I want to add features. I also made it so that I could add side panels eventually. This material came as part of a packing crate when we bought a treadmill. The treadmill that was giving me static and that was causing interference for the power supply, it came with some of this really thin kind of cheap plywood. And I got a bunch of it. I salvaged it at the time saying, I might be able to use that someday. And it's perfect for this kind of front panel because it's really easy to work with. I'm terrible at working with metal, but better working with wood. And I'm operating under the influence of Frank Jones here lately. So I've decided to keep the circuitry on the wood board, but build kind of a wood cabinet around it. So eventually I'll fill in the other three sides and come up with a top panel, and that way this thing will be boxed up, bigger than it normally would be, but who cares? It provides a really good kind of open platform for kind of experimentation with different circuits, tweaking. And what I'm doing with this one is really trying to understand and measure in more detail how the circuitry works. I've completed the receiver, and now I'm starting to work on the transmitter. The mic amp was the first phase in that, and I also built in this little relay. Where's the relay? Oh, there. Wait, no. Hold on. Where's my relay? Ah, there it is. There's the relay. This relay basically switches a voltage when I go from transmit to receive. So on transmit, it turns on the mic amp, turns off the audio output amp, and turns on the transmit TIA amplifiers, which I have powered with green wires, and turns off the receive TIA amps, which I have powered with red wires. It keeps the VFO on at all times, and it keeps the carrier oscillator and BFO on at all times. So you could see, and it's controlled really from by push to talk from the mic jack, the mic plug. So when I key the mic, it takes this relay and switches it from receive to transmit and changes the voltage relationship all through the transceiver. I think in the next video I'll tell you a little bit more about my work with the bandpass filters, which was really kind of fun and interesting, and a good example of how I kind of learned a lot from this thing. This space that I have over here on the far side of the board, that'll be where the RF amplifiers will go. And I'm kind of inclined towards a real simple single IRF 510 amplifier with about 5 watts out, but we'll see. I'm just kind of fooling around with things right now. Anyway, that's the update. I guess this is Mythbuster number 10, and back to the front panel here. You can see the front panel, and I got this little card so I can get a rough idea what frequency I'm on the different bands. And you'll notice I have kind of, I guess you'd call them escutcheons. This one's here, escutcheons. This one's made out of duct tape. This one's made out of just a little index card. And the purpose is to hide my terrible sawing and my bad cuts that kind of imposed ugly damage on the wood panel. So you can do that, and it'll look a little bit better. All right, we're not too worried about cosmetics here. The receiver works great, as I think I showed you in earlier videos. And then next time I'll show you how the transmitter's working so far. I've got transmit signal going all the way from audio input in the mic all the way through to output from the bandpass filters, and I could watch it on the scope. That's kind of cool. All right, that's it for now. 7-3.